Hello and welcome to Film Companion Reviews. We're going to talk about Takeoff, directed by Mahesh Narayan.
കാത്തിരുന്ന് കിട്ടിയ ചാൻസ് ഇറാഖിലെ ഈ ജോലി.
സാലറി ഇവിടത്തെക്കാളും 4 ഇരട്ടിയടി.
This country is safe.
The story revolves around Samira, who's wonderfully played by Parvathy. When we first meet her, she's missing a certificate. She's at the Department of Health. She's applying for a job as a nurse in Iraq, but they won't give her the necessary papers until she produces that certificate. Samira screams at an official. She calls her son. She asks him to search their computer. A colleague named Shahid, and played by Kunchacko Boban, offers to help, but she refuses. Later, she grudgingly accepts. Why this long scene for what seems like a small detail, just a certificate, especially when there seems to be a bigger story to get to about nurses from Kerala who in 2014 found themselves captives of the IS in Iraq? The answer is this. We are being told that Samira doesn't need to go to Iraq to get embroiled in a crisis. Her life is already in a state of strife. There are loans to be paid, she's divorced, and worse, Shahid is soft on her. Love is really the last thing she needs. The first half of the film is breathtakingly brilliant. The director doesn't take the easy route. He doesn't, for instance, make Samira's ex a monster. There is much melodrama in Samira's life. For instance, her son has yet to be told about the divorce. There are many things like this, but the film is remarkably unmelodramatic, as is Parvathy. Samira is a brave woman, and Parvathy gives a very brave performance, aided by superb character writing. And then the second half happens. War happens, and the film does Samira and us a minor injustice. Samira and her colleagues are now captives, and the focus shifts to the steps taken to secure their release. A woman's story becomes a man's, and this man is a very dignified Fasil who plays Manoj, an official at the Indian embassy in Iraq. And though we still keep eavesdropping on Samira and her colleagues, the film's dimension shifts from the personal, the psychological, to the physical and the logistical. It's no longer about how do I handle this information my ex has just hit me with. It's more about how do we get a sat phone across to the hospital you're trapped in. So these portions are still very well done. The director isn't after your average rescue thriller. He wants to explore this chapter of recent history, and even through the fictionalizing techniques, we sense documentary-like precision in the way information has been gathered and is now being disbursed to us. And the production values are outstanding. Cinematographer Sanu John Verghese gives us jittery frames that suck us right in. At one point, Samira is giving her son a wash. The calm moment is blown to bits when a bomb explodes behind her. The filmmaking is so precise, I jumped out of my skin, which is exactly what Samira would have done. The only downer is the background score, which is insistent on reminding us how tragic all this is. We don't need that cello. These faces are more than enough. As amazing as Parvathy is, Kunchacko Boban delivers the film's trickiest performance. He plays a saintly man without making him a saint, and his disappearance from the second half, as Manoj and his colleagues take over, is a reason we don't feel as much. If this seems like a complaint, it really isn't. It's just that I was greedy to spend more time with Samira and Shahid, with that little boy whose awakening into adulthood is underlined with the subtlest of transitions, and even with the nurses who leave behind the very families they are earning money for. Even when it's clear they cannot stay at the hospital anymore, some of these nurses refuse to leave. One of them says she won't budge until she's paid. You slap your head at her stubbornness, because what's money when you may not live to spend it? But then we get the reason. The salary they make once they return to India won't even pay the interest on the loans they've taken. They need this money, because your family will be happy when you return, but that happiness will last just a day, just till they realize you're safe. And then when reality hits, when you see those loans haven't really gone away, the struggles start all over again. The war, in other words, is never really over. That's the sobering thought this very impressive film leaves us with. So that's it about Takeoff. If you like this review, do subscribe to Film Companion by clicking on the link below. See you soon at the movies.